Alright, welcome. This, probably if you are this way. Sorry, there we go. This is the Harley Benton MM-84 something like that, Deluxe. I've featured this bass on the channel previously. It's not the same bass. This time it is heavily modified. I have rewired it. I have, mapped the different... Let's go for a cozy, warm vibe here. And yeah, why not? A little bit of a extra vibiness. Right. And there is a reason why I went back to this bass. If you want my original review kinda-ish thing from a hobby amateur bass player, it is on my channel. If I remember, maybe I will link it down below. It's gonna be quite a little bit of a talking right now. I hopefully will put some timestamps down to when just the pure kind of audio demo starts. So if you don't want to know anything about the bass stuff I've done or stuff, the quality of the bass or anything like that, just use the timestamp below. Listen to some audio samples, but just realize it is not a stock. This is far, far, far from a stock Harley Benton here. So there is a reason why I went back to this, because I've had jazz basses, I have PM basses, GM basses, I believe. Yeah, I think so. I have like MM basses, this one before, and short scale, normal, like the long scale bass and stuff. But there is a certain setup of pickup configuration I've never really used, like a bass that only had the inner or the outer coils, for example. And my previous bass, that was like the build it yourself kit, that was like the first time I tried to use one of these humbuckers in serious mode, which really opened up a lot of tone, oomph, nice to it. And that really got me thinking to, what can I do, to get a lot of cool sounds out the bass and sounds I haven't heard before. And it realized that this is a really good bass for getting those tones, because the finish, of the fretwork isn't, your $1,000 bass. But this is really nice and really smooth for the price here. I think this is like 250 euros at the moment. And the neck is really nice. It is a bit of a chunky neck, but it is really nice, solid wood. Very good finish, maple. Very hard, solid wood here. It sounds amazing acoustically. Just, unpacking this and playing it, it sounds amazing, right? The pure wood of it. That's why I went with this. And I've had these pickups before. This is like Roswell pickups. I don't know if that was the case always, but they also sounded good. By default, this comes active, and I always felt that for me, and especially with the active electronic that this bass has, is not good, right? It's very cheap. It doesn't really add a lot. You can just get more out of just using your amplifier, preamplifier, post EQ to whatever, right? So the first thing I did was I took and just ripped all of the active electronic out of this bass. And so this is 100% passive. It still sounds amazing. There is just no reason this bass should not have been active. No way. No, no, no. They should not have made this active like... There's just no need for this. You don't need it to be active. Yes, Toman, you really, really should try to rework this bass model to not be active. It's just not, yeah. So, first off, modding this bass was very tricky. You have to solder from the back of this metal plate and from the back side, and it is... For the size of this bass, the compartment here is very small. That's why this is just an on-off switch, because I couldn't fit a volume pot. It wasn't enough space. These are blend pots. So the one here towards the neck is obviously the neck pickup that I can blend the both of them. I was actually planning on having just switches. So I could select one coil, both coils, or one or the other coils. But that's my mistake. I was thinking I order Harley Benton switches. They obviously gonna fit Harley Benton bases. They did not. They only fit Harley Benton guitar kind of thing with the plastic cover. And this is metal, and I don't have a metal drill, so I couldn't make it fit. So I went with blend pot. Maybe that is good, maybe that is bad. The blend pots are 250k, and I'm mentioning that because it could affect the volume, or it can affect volume, output levels, and also it can affect the sound, how dark or bassy or bright it sounds. So my understanding, if you go with 500k pots instead, you might get a brighter sound, and if you go with 250, you can get less of like the high end. And generally, I think it was 250k pots are more suitable for like single coils that are very bright, and 500k are more suitable for like humbuckers that has less of the kind of top end there. But since I'm using Flatwounds. This is the what is Ernie Ball cobalt Flatwound 0.55 to 110, I believe. And they don't have the, they have top end, but not crazy top end. So I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna try 250k pots, and I think they sound really great. So we have 2 pots, just an on-off switch, and then I have a 4-way toggle switch that lets me select this pickup, both pickups, the front pickup or neck pickup, and then it is a mode where they are in parallel mode and one where they are in series mode, the pickups. Now I think it would have been more like the ultimate bass. It would have been like truly awesome. Would have also been if I could have had like parallel or series mode for for the pickup themselves, like having just the bridge pickup like I had in my previous bass, to be able to have it in series mode. Would have been really beefy, cool sounding, but I think this was with my soldering skill and with everything I had, this is the perfect choice, because in generally I prefer using like a combination of pickup placements, not only a bridge or not only the front. It has its purposes for sure, but yeah, just one beefy bridge pickup music, man. I think overall I'm gonna be happy with it in parallel mode, but most of the time I'm probably gonna use one like a combination of these two. So we are gonna get into the sound now, and it's gonna be, I'm just gonna be playing the same. Let me demonstrate that again here. Let's maybe pick another sound for you guys. Here we go, just for fun of it. And yeah, I'm just gonna be going with, I'm playing pick because I like pick, and I'm just gonna be doing this riff, and that is so you can hear the tonal difference. Ignore any volume change, that is really difficult. But the volume change is not, meaning it's a better sound. It's just that when I'm running in series mode, you get the volume boost. If we're running both of the pickups and not just one of the coils in one pickup, it's going to be a louder output. I can't really fix it, and so it's going to be a ton of options. I might miss an option. But yeah, this riff, just a simple like... It sounded good to me. I don't know, maybe I'm messing something up here that is going to annoy you guys that are better at music theory. I haven't tried... Haven't even really figured out what scale I'm really in. No, but we're just gonna go with that. I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted for the riff, right? That's fine. Alright, so let's start off simple. Just the bridge pickup. And we are going to start with just the bridge coil. You know what? I'm sorry for that. I wanted the beefier. This is a 2mm gator grip. I could use a Behringer, right? But I really like pick, and the pick adds a nice oomph to the sound, so I'm gonna go with pick. So let's get started. Bridge pickup, bridge coil. Let's sweep it to, let's see, right, there we go. Now it's going to be running in both coils in parallel mode. And now we're gonna run only the front coil, so that is going obviously to be in single coil mode here, right? Right, so do that. Now we're gonna go to, is it, I think it's that one, right? Yeah, should be this one. There we go. Only the front, the neck pickup, and we're gonna start with the kind of the bridge coil here. And let's go ahead and put both coils together, parallel mode, neck pickup. And let's go ahead and run the front coils. Right, so now we're going to go into where it gets a little bit like interesting. Since there is so many options, let's start off with both of the coils together, and let's start with parallel mode. So 2 humbuckers, they are wired internally here now in parallel mode. They are running also in parallel mode together. Now let's hear how this is gonna sound when they are parallel mode, but they are like both the bridge in parallel mode and the neck in parallel mode, but they are now going to be together in series mode. This is going to be a volume increase, so try to ignore that and focus on the sound. A lot beefier sounding, right? So now this is where it gets very interesting, right? We can do so many sound choices, but I'm thinking we're gonna start off with which is why this is kind of a very versatile bass right now with these modifications here. So we're running both of these, and they are now being run. Both of them are wired together in parallel mode, but we are running bridge coils only on the bridge pickup and the bridge coils only on the neck pickup. So pretty much we are running just, you can tell, like these coils here, right? So this is pretty much a jazz bass. This is just a normal jazz bass. A jazz bass have, you know, two coils, single coils, wired in parallel mode for humbuck, you know, to cancel out noise. So this should be just the jazz bass. Sounds pretty jazzy, right? Now this is the fun part, right? That we can now switch it to be series mode. So now we have the same coils, but they are being wired in series, which should make it a beefier jazz bass sound. A little bit beefy, right? Might be harder to hear. So this is also the fun thing, right? There are different, like Fender has different years when they like placed them. They placed them a little bit, you know, in a different spacing from each other. So, right, you could now, we're gonna swap over. So now we're gonna do the neck coils on the both these, which is gonna give us a very different sound, and we're gonna swap to parallel mode. So now we have kind of like a jazz bass sound, but the pickups are then just spaced further away from the bridge. We get a very interesting sound. We get more of a, you know, the kind of mere scoopy, bassy sound here. So we're gonna swap now to the series mode, and this is one I was a little bit surprised, but I think this might be one of my, if not the favorite sound of this bass, having both of the neck coils running in series mode here. Yeah, very beefy, midi, growly sounding. I love it. This is definitely one of more fun sound. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this mod is, we're gonna swap again, it's a lot of sounds here, is because I wanted this sound that I'm gonna be showcasing now. And I've tried this sound on a short scale, 6 bass, kind of those guitar bass mix baritone kind of things, 30-inch bass, and it had a very interesting sound. So I wanted to try that sound on a normal bass. That is going to be bridge pickup, bridge coil, neck pickup, neck coil, and we are starting off with running in parallel mode for the both pickups here. That is a very interesting sound, but let's make it more fun, right? So we're gonna swap now to serious mode, which is gonna beef it up. This is a very interesting sound to me, and one I really wanted to try, and a sound I really like. I'm probably gonna be using that for for some covers in the future. Very meaty, very cool sounding. Another sound that I also was very interested to try was to have the inner coils only. So bridge pickup, neck coils, and neck pickup, bridge coil. I know these modes are available on, is it the Music Man bases, Sterling Man? They are pretty affordable. They can cost you around 600 to 700 euros. But this is the thing, right? All in all, I paid maybe 300, 350 with the strings and everything and the pots and stuff. And I solder it myself. And I get more sounds, because then you are stuck with the kind of parallel or series mode that Music Man has decided for you. So again, only the kind of the middle coils here, which I was very interested to see how is that going to sound. Interesting, but not my favorite. I was thinking that was gonna be beefier sounding, so beef it up with serious mode now and see what that's gonna be here or here like. It's not a bad sound, but it's not as like fun sounding. I think this one, the middle coils here, is a perfect sound, especially maybe with the serious mode. If you just wanna beef up a mix, you don't wanna stand out, you don't wanna take the foreground or anything, you just wanna have some thickness. This is probably really nice. Right, but we aren't done. Parallel mode. So again, I might not be able to pull all of the sounds off here because I might miss one. But let's try the bridge pickup in parallel mode, right? And both pickups going to be also going in parallel mode. But we are only going to use the neck pickup, and we're gonna switch between. We're starting off with the bridge coils only. So we have the bridge pickup, humbucker full mode, and then we have only the bridge coils on the neck pickup, and they are now going to be running in parallel, the pickups. And then I'm gonna switch it obviously to series mode. All right, pretty interesting. So this is now a GM bass, right? You have like the jazz neck pickup, and then you have a Music Man styled humbucker here in the bridge. But let's see if we can hear a nice difference when we now run the pickups in series mode here together. A bit beefier, pretty nice sounding. Go back to parallel mode, but let's see if can we hear a difference if we swap the neck pickup from the bridge coils to the neck coil. So let's do that and see if we can hear a difference here. I think we can hear a little bit of scoopy sound difference, right? What happens if we do now swap to series mode? We definitely get that kind of, you know, we have a volume boost that is very audible, but we also definitely get a little bit of an interesting growl going. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna run, there we go. The neck pickup is now going to be running in parallel mode, full humbucker all the time here. And let's start off with, let's go with the, you know what, we do that. We start with the bridge coil on the bridge pickup, and it is now, both of them are running in parallel mode. Okay. Not as a kind of dramatic differences or special sound as the other one, but all right. Let's again, now they're running in series mode, the pickups. So there is definitely more of an oomphy difference with going from running both of the pickups in series mode versus parallel mode. That's why I'm really happy I did this mod here. And I think that if for future bases, if I were to like wanna rewire or do anything, my favorite rewiring probably is going to be to have series mode for like 2 pickups, then maybe, you know, having like a series parallel switch for like the individual pickups. But yeah, both pickups just much interesting sound. But let's switch over back to parallel mode, but we're gonna have the bridge pickup with the neck coils only here. Right, pretty interesting sounding for sure. And let's go for series mode. Lot beefier. It's definitely, again, series mode just makes it so much more beefier and fun for me overall. But yeah, there you have it. I think I have got then all of the, you know, the big sounds here. So maybe we should just, here we go. So what are the sounds that I probably will be using, right? So we have just the kind of a traditional humbucker here running in parallel mode if you just want to have a little bit of a growl, right? Right, that is definitely going to be a usable sound. So yeah, that is going to be some kind of sound. Maybe probably what I'm going to be using is like both of the coils just running normal humbucker or just the front coil here, which gives you a good nice little bite, but it is a little bit away from the bridge, so you still have a little bit of beefier sound. And I'm probably going to be using in one way or another the kind of, again, only the front. If you want that more traditional, more of a P-bassy or the old school sound. So this is now just the front pickup, the neck pickup with the bridge coil. That is kind of like the closest to the P-bass sound you get, right? Very nice sounding. Or if you just want just the very kind of old school, you can just run the front, the neck pickup and the neck coils, right? Kind of similar, but adds a little bit more of just the scoopy bassy sound. Right. That is definitely going to be a fun, useful sound. But now let's end with my favorite sounds. And that is definitely the neck coils only on both of the pickups here. So just the neck coils, and they are running in series mode, both the pickups here. Yeah, I really love that sound. I was expecting to be like the neck pickup, neck coils and the bridge pickup, bridge coils running in like series mode to be my favorite. It is very close second one. you don't know, this riff here, I think it's something like this. I might be in the wrong kind of scale. That is a movie kind of soundtrack thing. I think I'm playing it maybe too fast, right? I'm sure they move it down or up or something, right? So that sounded closer. All right. Well, I hope you have found this interesting. Maybe you have found a new sound, a combination of pickups, something for that. Again, to have my final wording right, it's a fun-based mod, but it was a pain in the ass. It is very small, very tight compartment. This metal plate here, right, looks nice and solid, but it makes it that you have to get the exactly right pots to fit, because you can't just drill them up easy unless you have access to a metal drill at home. It's much easier for like a plastic to modify, to drill up and do stuff like that. Another thing is that you have to unscrew all of the screws of the metal plate to be able to then unscrew all of like the back plates here for the plastic cover here. You unscrew it, you lift this one up, and then you kind of knock with like something like a screwdriver or something to pop the back cover off. I got a little bit of a damage because I tried to like pry it off from this backside. You can't do that. I guess that's a beginner mistake, right? Doesn't bother me. It's on the backside. I'm not planning on like reselling this for a good solid value. I'm hoping to just have fun with this for quite some time coming forward. And again, I'm hoping this really showcases that this bass should never been active in the first place. It sounds amazing passive. This is a cheaper instrument. It's meant for more of a beginners and stuff like that. And for them to having to worry about like a battery running low, causing the bass to sound bad, or like having to accidentally crank or just take all of the high ends off with like a simple pot, it's not a good thing. This should not be a thing. I don't think this configuration that I have should have been the default, but it should have been, you know, volume, tone, and like a 5-way switch. You know, you have humbucker mode, maybe even just a 4-way switch or something like that, but like both of them together, you know, and then maybe some of the combinations with the one coils on both of the pickups. By default, Thomann has, I think, a very weird configuration, right? Not only is it active, but they have a mode where you only use like single coil mode, like the bridge pickup and the bridge coils only. And again, as a beginner, that is not a sound you're buying a bass like this. You're buying a bass like this for a thick sound. So they should just have had only modes where there are 2 coils, no matter if it is on one of the pickups or on, you know, both of the pickups available. And yeah, so the bass is definitely very robust. It is a thicker one. I'm not gonna do a full review since I will have one, but the build quality, like how the woods and everything feels, it's very nice. But yeah, you know, a little bit of a pain in the ass with the space you have to rewire it, but I'm happy I got it done. It could have definitely been interesting to have a bass that, again, let me run just the bridge or neck pickup in like series mode, instead of that I have it now, having it running in parallel mode. And again, the pots here, the blend pots, it could have been just The blend pots works really nice. It's not a problem, and it could actually make the sound better. But it would have been probably nicer if I could have just if the Harley Benton toggle switch were compatible with the Harley Benton basses, right? So I could have had just toggle switch for the pickups, the front and the neck and bridge pickup, because it is much easier to wire and solder a three-way toggle switch for the yeah, okay, there we go, my mind here clicking now. So a blend pot is more difficult to solder than a simple three-way toggle switch, right? That's what I meant to say. But again, I don't know when I'm gonna be having energy and time and stuff to get a cover out. I'm hoping I can, because having this bass modded here and everything really, sparked some extra energy in just playing more bass. I still play bass even though I haven't uploaded to my channel, but there is a lot of boring behind the scenes stuff that is just taking all my energy away, that just is draining me from just having energy to have fun and play bass. And I only want to play bass because it's fun, not because I have to. So that is why there hasn't been a cover on the channel, because I haven't felt like, oh my god, I just have to push myself to get the cover out. So I just been playing a little bit offline and everything here, and waiting for that moment when I'm just, okay, I have this bassy energy, I'm gonna deliver a cover. So but yeah, that is feel free to follow, check back to the channel, and hopefully within a month or 3 maybe there will be at least one cover up showcasing how this bass sounds in like a mix, in a true song. And it's probably going to be with, again, both the front coils, or maybe the neck coil and the bridge coils only, like, to give this kind of huge fat jazz bass sound with single coil mode, and then running it in series mode for both of the pickups there. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye for this time.